Yes.
Welcome to Wednesday morning, folks. This fine 26th of June, 2024. You know, in less than 6 months, we're all going to be seeing other end of the spectrum of weather. This is kind of fun, maybe, maybe not. Sorry, we'll just stop that sparky joy and let's go share
Can't
the
ride your
screen.
bike in the winter.
Well, you can, but you just got to have a sense of humor about it. All
Yeah,
right,
no
and
kidding.
awesome. So you should be seeing my screen, and is the screen showing up? I apologize. I have my other visual
Yeah,
just
yeah, the screen's good.
perfect. Thank you so much. So Phoenix Business Exchange website. Here it is. What do you got to know about it? Well, pbex.ca. That's how you find it if you're from the outside looking in. And if you're a member, you already know about it. So go here and scroll down, see what's happening. Oh, and hey, look, we're celebrating our 8th year as a group that have shared over $4.6 million worth of business, over 7,200 referrals. That's kind of a handy piece. Hey, that quote's not supposed to show up till much later, but you know what? If you're not willing to take the risk of you're not willing to risk the unusual, you have to settle for the ordinary. So I kind of stole my thunder from later on. Q is our member of the week. If you want to find out about what's going on, click on Q's card or hear a video. So she does personal insurance and that type of insurance like life, health, and so forth. You know what? Next Monday, don't show up to any of the meetings, or next Wednesday and Thursday. We're not meeting next week, so heads up on that one. Okay, real important. I mean, you can, but it'll be lonely. But normally we will meet Monday morning 8 to 9, Wednesday and Thursday. Today's Wednesday. This is the East End group, South End group. Normally meets Thursday. Tomorrow we are actually going to be meeting at the River Lounge. So heads up, and that's at 7:30. So there is no Zoom tomorrow for Thursday. July 2nd, Penny Lee's got some stuff to share with us to keep us on point, and that's the After Hours group. Anybody from Phoenix is welcome to come into that space. East Trade Winds. That's going to be another lonely vigil after this week until September 3rd. So we're not having any regular meetings, but we might have the odd meetings showing up. We'll post details, and we'll go from there. Tony, you know what? He's got that meditation on the go at 1:30 on Friday afternoon. So if you need to have that kind of like, I need to zone out and just kind of, get right with yourself, which is real important sometimes, or actually all the time, click on that and go and visit him at that location. Penny Lee's going to be out there dancing you with a Neo program. So if you're feeling kind of lethargic, you haven't moved around enough, and you need to get those joints moving before you have to see Shane on the chiropractor from Pro Action Health Clinic, try that. South End meeting, River Lounge, there it is. Click that, and just so Tony knows that you're coming. And that's tomorrow at 7:30, and that's on Prince of Wales. So just south of, what's the name of that crossroad street, Tony? Anyhow,
Sorry. So what was that?
just
The
River Lounge is just south of what major
River
street?
Lounge. Yeah, that's on Prince of Wales and
Just south
Hunt Club
of
area.
That's it. Just south on Hunt Club. Just south of Hunt Club.
Yep, yep.
East End. East End is in-person meeting at Dave's Place on July 10th. Click to register. Couple key points here. The Wednesday morning session at 8 a.m. is still a go, so be there for that. That's where Ema is presenting. And then at 11:30, that's where Dave is presenting brisket. And my mouth's already watering. Oh, look, golf. Oh, who said golf? It's not a bad four-letter word. So if you want to play, click on the August 1 piece. You want to sponsor the charity golf tournament? Click on the other side. What does that mean? $111 gets you 9 holes. You get a cart. You get enjoyment. You get to play a game. If you don't play golf on a regular basis, that's okay. It's kind of like learning how to do it, or you're learning how to throw that white ball down the fairway. The sponsor starts out at $100 and works its way up. And so that all really supports a charity. All net proceeds goes towards Make-A-Wish. You want more information when Mike is back from his holidays sometime after this week, reach out to him and he can fill in the blanks. If you need more information also, you can contact myself or Tony. QR directory for all members, that is really handy. So if you need to share who you are or share someone else in this group, say someone's looking to buy a place. Well, you know what? There's Wendy. You can call Wendy up on that. You need someone needs to be able to slam their brakes on again. That's Sam's department. Or better yet, you know what? You're hungry and you want to understand all about that brisket and other meats that Dave has. My mouth's starting to water again. I can't help that. There you go. Dave's in that list. He'll have all that contact information. The QR code. What does that represent? Well, that is a quick and easy way for people to use their mobile device, scan that code, and get your email, your phone number, your text message, website, any information you're sharing, even web or videos, and your website. All right, 271 referrals, 279 BAMs, and $89,120 of business have transpired year to date. So what's a BAM? Well, that's a business activity meeting. And why is it important to have them recurring? Because some things will change in our job, in our work cycle. Like David can tell you about what's going on for sales for different types of meats, or what's happening in that whole market. Or better yet, Wendy can start telling you what's happening in her market space, and it always changes. I'm going to hit the stop share button, and we're going to go over. We're going to go over to the words of wisdom. And Tony, who's the wise soul that's going to be doing the talk today?
That would be me.
Over to you, Tony.
Okay. One of the things that it never seems to cease to amaze me is that when we all get together in some way, there's always a reciprocal benefit from it. And we're really talking about getting together. We're talking about BAMs. When we look at the statistics, the most current statistic we have is we've got referrals at 274 this year, and BAMs are 279. And they're so close. So if there were times where we had tons of BAMs, we had 460 and then 462 BAMs. And it's just interesting, although they're not really related, we're not meeting each other to get a sales call, because we try to not do that, but we're getting together to know more about the other person, more about those things. And every single week, it never ceases to amaze me that we have 10 BAMs or 20 BAMs. The referrals are very close to that, within about 5 to 7 from that. And so it's interesting that when people are saying, I don't have a lot of business, I'm having, things are down a little bit. And then all we have to do is look at the BAMs that they've done in the last 6 months. There was one in particular that I remember that the person was just saying, it's been really challenging. And then we look at the BAMs and they have done 2 BAMs in 5 months. So all we can say is that, well, first of all, let's address the BAM part. So you should have at least a BAM with every member of your group. If you're in this East group, everyone should have a BAM. And after a year or so, you should have another one, because things might have changed. Susan might have picked up like another hobby. One of the things that is great is that in one BAM, I learned a while back that when Steve, he's our web designer and graphic artist and that kind of thing, when he also does painting of portraits of pets that have passed on. I didn't know that at the time. So if you have a pet and they passed and you have a picture of it, he would draw it on canvas so that you can hang it up. And I said, gee, I never knew that. Wendy's involved with Norwex in some way. These are cleaning products that you can get. And then Susan is also involved with other things. So when you look at the various other things that people do, some people are into photography, some people are into wood burning. We had a member a while back that was, you could get any picture and he would burn it on wood. So it's interesting. So in a BAM, that's what the kind of things that come out. Also, when someone has a certain category, like, they do 9 things, like I must do about a dozen different things, but I'm only in the one category where it's a medium clairvoyant. when we look at all the other things that we do, we can't be in all the categories. So find out the categories of the member that is in your group. Maybe there's other things that they do that you can send referrals to them in that category. Isn't that cool? Because no matter whether it's the category that you're in or you send a referral to another thing, it's still a referral going to that person. It still counts. And so this is what one of the great things about BAMs are. I always relish when Dave says you want to go for Korean chicken because I know I'm going to learn something. And we'll always invite a new member of the group or somebody new if it's a guest or something. And our latest one that we did, I don't know if Dave knows this yet, but when Matt came with us in the last Korean chicken episode, he liked it so much that on another day he brought a client into that restaurant. So this also stimulates the local economy. It also brings in a new level of just getting out because he says, it's been like 5 months or something like that since he's been out and just doing his thing. And he says, I miss it. Like now that I've seen you guys and how much fun you have, lunch isn't just cramming a sandwich down at noon. It's an event, and I can't wait to ask a client to let's meet there. And over food, you discuss business, you discuss family, you discuss interests, and you learn a lot. And in the touch points that Penny Lee's always talking about, this is critically important. It's another touch point where somebody looks at you in a different way. It's not all business, and I love that because everything's subtle. Everything is the fact that you just showed up for something and you talk about something completely different. You might bring up golf, and I know Bernie and I were always, introducing. Hey, by the way, do you play golf? And he says, and we go through a conversation that way. But it's all done in fun. It's all done subtly, which is the best, I think, because when someone's looking for service to do, they'll always more gravitate towards a friend-like person because we can always refer to a friend because we know that they're going to be taken care of. One of the biggest hangups I always used to have before I started any group was if I give somebody a referral, are they going to be able to service a client like I do? I always follow up after, with 2 days or a week after. How are you doing after our tuning session or after the reading that you got? How are you doing? And they said, oh, I'm doing great. And then other things come up. And then he says, well, what does it mean when new conversations come up? And so I'll just give a quick reading for that. I don't charge for it. But it's a fun way to connect in that way. And that way people know and feel that they're being taken care of. So, but how do you do that when you just don't know the person? And the BAM does that. It really does. One of the signs that I always look for is stuff like that they do that has nothing to do with business. Like he says, I was looking at building a deck. Never built a deck before. So I researched it and I looked into it. I wanted to make sure that I'm doing the job right. Well, a person that has that type of work ethic also has a work ethic that they're going to be in their business the same way. If a person's just throwing something together, it's okay if it falls apart in a year, I'll build it again next year. Yeah, that's not someone that I want, with a referral because it could be an important thing, right? So if you're looking at just getting people involved, schedule another BAM with somebody. Doesn't cost anything. You could do it over Zoom, which is fine, but nothing's greater than being able to do a walk BAM. Like so sometimes we'll do with Dave. He walks his dog, and you could just walk with him. You could meet at a restaurant. You could meet at an event. You could meet in anywhere that you could just sort of let your hair down, so to speak, and just talk about just hockey, talk about different things, and you'll learn more about a person that way. And it's such a refreshing thing. All right, so schedule a BAM with somebody, and then once you've done everybody in your group, then go to another group. And even if you're a realtor, you can still go to another group and find out what they do. You can introduce some of the other hobbies and things that you do to that person. They know you're a realtor, and that's okay. And that's the subtlety of it. That's one of the great things. A realtor, plumber, a person that sells meat, or a mechanic, these are all very relatively easy categories. One of the most difficult category is mine, a spirit coach. What on earth is that? And so I've spent like years and years trying to get into that. But if you have a category that is that simple, like Susan's, like all these great Mediterranean products, it's an easier sell than something that is like a coach or a life coach or a business coach or something. So take advantage of it. Make it so that you can get the BAM done and connect to other people. Okay. Thanks, Bernie.
Funny, thank you. So we have a LinkedIn Live post. Another good way to share who you are, what you do, is post your content there. It's also on Facebook. The other thing, we're going to start off doing our intros and what we're saying, and referrals and BAMs that have transpired in the last week. But if you know any of these people, you'll see it in the chat. Event planner, groomer, not for you, but for your pets, right? A plumber, women's and men's apparel, mobile hairdresser. These things are really important, and that's where you reach out to Penny Lee. And you know what? Guess who the first person is that we're going to talk to in the round robin? Penny Lee, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. Penny Lee, the dancing motivator, co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated. I want to remind you that getting outside and connecting with the earth is very important. And currently, I am doing backyard dance parties where people have an opportunity to come and do their movement practice barefoot. It is a totally different experience when you are dancing or exercising outdoors barefoot. You receive energy from Mother Earth, and we move our bodies to music specifically in line with our chakras. So each song is intended to hit each of the chakras to move the energy up and out. I would like you to think of people today that could benefit from increased immune system, increased energy, and would love to have an opportunity to dance with them either in person or on Zoom. I'm also available for hire for functions, for events. So if you'd like to have me over to do a dance party in your backyard, would love the opportunity to do that with your friends. Happy Canada Day, everyone. And I'll look forward to seeing you, I guess, in 2 weeks. Oh, and BAMS, Tony, I gave you a referral of my brother. And I've got ongoing business with Susan Ebbs. And that's about it for now. I will have to set up some BAMs in the coming week. Oh, and Dwight and Nicole are also ongoing business with Graduate.
And wait a few seconds, and there we go. We're going to swing over to Sam next, and then Wendy. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. And as Penny mentioned there, I hope you all have a very happy Canada Day coming up this weekend. Sam Stewart, ConnectedCars.ca. You know what I do. Specialize in installing dash cameras in vehicles. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, and brake jobs. And these days, I'm lucky man. Nice weather happening, and I'm doing car cleaning. In fact, I have a car here right now waiting for me to go back and finish up cleaning up that vehicle. Let's see, BAMS wise, let's see, I got a Google review from Lana. I put a dash camera in her car a couple weeks back. She gave me a Google review, which was very nice of her. Also do, let's see, car detailing. Q, I got a booking for her coming up in a week's time to car clean her car. I think that's the third time I'm doing her vehicle. And, oh, I was going to mention this. T-shirts. I hand out these T-shirts to people, and generally, sometimes I get business from it, sometimes I don't. And believe it or not, I gave a T-shirt to one of the guys I played squash with there a week ago, and he referred me to his brother, who just happens to be a neighbor of mine. And that's one of the vehicles I'm cleaning today, and I'm going to do another one afterwards. So It pays to advertise. Sandstor's connectedcars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and lots more.
All right, and thank you, Sam. I just posted in the chat the golf. Wendy's already signed up for it, as a foursome in play. Norm and Steve have sponsored. Eric Perron has sponsored the longest drive hole, and we have Ema who's doing the photography photography sessions for that day, and Dwight and Nicole are also providing food into that space. So just I thought I'd give you a kind of a quick heads up, and Wendy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Bernie. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I'm the real estate professional of the group, and I got to say that referrals are the best form of building your business. And I recently had Matthew Ladard from HVAC come out and meet with one of my buyers on one of the walkthroughs. And there is no central air conditioner unit in this new home that he's buying. And I recommended that he get an air conditioner unit because it's super hot in the summertime and he works 100% from home. So for that comfort, I felt that it was really important, and so did he. So we met together at the house, and Matt went through his whole spiel. He did an excellent job, and I got to say that he's hired. So Matt's going to get a nice job there, and we're going to be lining that up for mid-July. So that was a really good referral. I really appreciated that Matt took the time to educate my client on the service of his company versus other companies and the products and the price point. So very, very important when you're referring someone to make sure that they are giving your client all the information that they need to make the best decision. So thank you very much, Matthew, for doing that. Also, Penny Lee, thank you for marrying my friends, Greg and Alicia. So now they're married officially on paper, thanks to Penny Lee. And they're going to have a small gathering at their house coming up in July, and we will be celebrating their marriage together. They've been together for a long time, but you know what? Now it's official. And they said, no presents. We just want to hang out with our favorite people. So what a great way to celebrate them. Other than that, no BAMs to report. Looking forward to having a beautiful weekend with friends and family, and I hope everyone is as well. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. And swinging over to Dave and then Susan McGarry. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, everybody. Back from Nova Scotia. Had a great time. We visited my spouse's mom in the villa and found out what she ate on a daily basis. So on the menu there, I took note of all the things I shouldn't eat. Because that's what you're going to get when you go over there. So anyway, that was quite a learning experience. And I think we got her very acceptable to living there. So she's only been there a couple months, but she's been well taken care of. So that's great. Anyway, for the food news, we're having smoked salmon coming in for Canada Day. And I have about 3 extra half sides I'm looking to sell. If anybody knows anybody that would be interested. Also, if somebody wants to, yeah, okay. Also, if you want to celebrate Canada and eating Canadian, smoked salmon from New Brunswick is a great way to do it. And it's a great picnic food, so you can go out there and celebrate and have it with you. The other thing is I have very special Canadian prime boneless rib steaks, and that's top 1%. They're 1 pound steaks, and they're $40 each. 40's become the new 30 in the grocery business. I tell you, it's scary. So anyway, that's it for me this week. I did remember having the BAM with Tony and Matt. It was a great time. And having people experience Korean fried chicken is like you forget the other fried chickens after that. It's like that's your new fried chicken thing. So I'm willing to bring anybody else over there for a BAM if anybody wants to do that. That'd be great. So anyway, I'll be ordering from Susan there soon as well, and the vitamins are going well as well. So anyway, that's it for me this week, and have yourself a good week.
Dave, thank you very much, and welcome back, Susan McGarry, and then Tony. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Happy Canada Day, everyone. I want to say that before I forget. So easy to do. I'll be definitely going for the golf tournament. I'm bringing my mother-in-law. So I brought somebody. I know, cool, right? Wendy is going, Ema was going. I thought, I've never golfed in my life. I thought, you know what? I look like an idiot. So what? We're all amongst friends, and it does go to a good charity. So I'm good for that. I've been doing a lot of vendoring out in Redford County, and one thing I've noticed when talking about these products with people is their groceries. And one thing I've been really sampling and sharing is our Pure Trim Mediterranean shakes. Now, I know they're great for weight loss. I get that. But they're also really great for wellness. So sometimes I'll tell someone like a whole shake might be too much. Just make half a shake. You don't have to drink a whole shake, right? And if you're like my boyfriend, who's like 165 pounds, 6'2", doesn't need to lose a pound, I'll make him a chunky monkey. That's when you take the chocolate shake, chocolate chips, banana, peanut butter. I mean, you can make these into some crazy, crazy recipes. They're so delicious, and they're anti-stress, anti-aging blend. There's antibiotics in here. If you look at the back, it gives you a complete breakdown of all the A's, B's, D's, C's, all your nutrition. So for $3.99 a meal, they've been going fast. Again, when I'm out there vendoring. And of course, people are referring me because mom's using it, then two daughters want to use it, and so on and so on. So if there's anyone that you know and care about that's looking for a gluten-free, whey-free, soy-free, vegan meal replacement, have them reach out to me. I do mail out samples. They come in individually sachets, so it's not like, I have to scoop it and open it up and send you an envelope of powder. They actually have individual packaging already. So I'll mail you out one to try, and you make it with water, not milk. Thanks so much, Susan, with Pure Trim. No BAMs, but I'll be working on that after that talk that Tony shared today. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Tony, over to you, and then Susan Epps.
Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the clairvoyant medium of the group, spirit guy. Every Friday at 1:30, over the last 3 years, I've done a free meditation class, and this is an introduction to bring in peace to ourselves, to our business. Somewhere in your itinerary, there has to be something for you. We do a lot for our clients. In fact, I know a lot of people go way beyond the line in terms of serving their clients, serving their family, serving their spouse, serving their neighbors. And what is left after all of that is you need something for yourself. You need some way to find a way to be able to unleash yourself in some way. So whether it's meditation, and there's 200 ways to really find your balance and find your thing, even a walk in the woods or something. But if that isn't possible, if I have recordings on my Friday at 1:30 classes, and like last week we had the class, we talked about words and what the words have to do with us. It's basically sounds that is a communication, and we hear the same sounds over and over again. We call it words, but basically it's vibration. And when we hear the same vibration, it gives us an emotional contact and an emotional reference of what that is. If I say the word soap, then you have an image of what that is. But if I say the word love, then you have a different emotion. Well, those are both sounds. Yeah, take care, Penny Lee. Have a good one. Go get them. And they're just different ways to be able to take sounds, and it means something to us. But there's also sounds that we don't hear. In other words, if somebody is across the room looking at you with love, and they just have this admiration, they just love you, they just want to be with you, even though they don't say a word, they can feel something. And when we can get in contact with that and look deeper into ourselves, we can find that we have a whole host of other things within us that we can be able to unplug and take the stress out of the everyday life. So I've left a link and various other things in the chat. Take a look at some of the meditations. They're all free. The ones that I do that are on my podcast, they're done from about a couple of years ago when they're bringing it on. Some of the newer ones, we can send you weekly classes in your email. It's like $5 a month. It's just to take care of production costs, but it basically keeps you up to date on the various things that Spirit finds that people are praying for. When people are praying, they're saying, "Oh, I really need this." Those are really the subjects that I get, and they're sending me the images and the insights to be able to attract. I don't even know what this week's topic will be yet. They haven't told me, but it's always going to be something relevant and current, something that people are really asking for. So I hope you can find some way to be able to unhook yourself in your business. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, where we are here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. Susan Ebbs, best for last.
Thank you so much, and happy Canada Day to everybody. I'm with a company called Melaleuca.com, and we help you shop for non-toxic cleaning products. Came across my favorite one again, Solumel. Our products are all concentrated, so you get a bottle. Let's get it in the screen there, and that size, and then you only need it a little bit in the bottom of the spray bottle down here, and the rest is water. So a little goes a long way. We're saving bottles from the environment. We've saved millions and millions of bottles going into the environment. What does Solumel do? It does 1,000 things. One thing that is very good for it is freshening your carpets. Say you have an animal that forgets to go to the bathroom in the potty or in the cat litter box. Okay, well, you spray a little bit of pre-spot on, let it sit for a few minutes, then come with your cleaner with the Solumel and water, and bang, the spot is gone. But not only that, but your carpet's going to be freshened up, dirt's going to be taken away from the carpet, and it will extend the life of your carpet, and your room will smell just lovely. Solumel doesn't have any ammonia or chemicals, phthalates, all those nasty things that are going to cause all sorts of disease. So what we're looking towards is helping you to improve your health by getting rid of all those darn chemicals in your homes. There's incidents of asthma and ADHD, autism, Alzheimer's on the other spectrum of the life. These are going up, and it's because of all the chemicals that we've got in our life. So Susan Ebbs with Total Renewal, I affiliate with Melaleuca.com. BAMs, I've not had any BAMs, but I have ongoing business with Penny Lee and Wendy Chung. Look forward to doing some BAMs with people over the next 2 weeks. Bye for now.
And I just wanted to mention the BAMs I have is I had a BAM with Lana yesterday. I had a BAM with Bernie last week. Ongoing business with Eric Senego, our accountant. And Dave, I got an order for you for some steaks. We'll chat later. And Susan, I've already given you my order for that. So looking forward to it. Okay, thanks, Bernie.
Cool, folks. Susan brought up a really good point. BAM's the next 2 weeks. So next week if we're not meeting, connect with somebody. What better way to make that happen? Hey, what am I doing? Well, let me tell you, I've got stuff on the go all the time. Never bored. I connect people. I connect businesses. That's kind of the root evil of the thing I do. Knack for Business podcast. That's part of the journey. I've interviewed quite a few folks about their business journey and all the way through. Property Wizard is about understanding real estate investment. What are all the components? Doesn't make you a realtor. It doesn't make you a mortgage broker, but it makes you informed. So if you're going to go in that space. East Trade Winds, we have a YouTube channel. Why is that kind of important? Well, Tony presented yesterday. So if you want to see Tony's presentation, it's about 12 minutes long. And so he's there talking about some of his experiences. Josh has also presented the week before. He's in that space. So go on and take a quick peek into that universe. And I haven't asked, what else I got on the go? Yeah, Tony and I did our meeting and working on Mike's Wazowski. His podcast released last week, so he's out there. He's in the Knack for Business podcast space. And actually, Jacqueline just released this week, and so she's in the wild now. I believe she released today as of 0800 hours. So yeah, there we go. We're just talking to people, making stuff happen. I do have an ask. Check out the Clean Shield Solutions web page. That's something we've just launched, and it's for an industrial application, and it's about cleaning. Details are in there. I can go on for a lot longer, but we have a special guest and he's presenting. And we have 20 minutes left in our session. So you know what, Blair, the floor is yours.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Bernie, Tony. I really appreciate the opportunity. Very nice to meet all of you. Sorry, I came in a little bit late. I didn't hear everyone, but very, very interesting of what you're doing in the different styles of businesses. So, and let me just see if I can share my screen here. Once I can get this, just give me 2 seconds if you'd be so kind. Modern technology is such a wonderful thing. Just so I know, when you're having like a presentation, that sort of thing for yourself, at the end, does everyone still wave goodbye? I'm always curious as to people wave goodbye because they do. And it's just, initially it was like, well, we're just being polite. Now it's sort of one of those things that we do. So it's one of those things. So perfect. So let me just pull this up here. And of course we should be sharing. Excellent. And oops. I've only done this, oh gosh, 1,008 times. So
you want your slideshow?
Yeah, just trying to, unfortunately,
press F5.
F5. F5. You mean like F5 like that?
Yeah,
What would I do without you? It's awesome. Good morning, everyone. My name is Blair Patton. I am the president and CEO of Benchmark Insurance. Benchmark Insurance, we are a niche insurance brokerage, and we provide 3 products for business owners. So personal, corporate life insurance, critical illness protection options, and employee benefits solutions. This is our telephone number. You can also reach us by text at the same number, my email address, and of course, our website there. So I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who said there are only 2 guarantees in life, and that is death and taxes, correct? Actually, there are 5 of them. There are, of course, taxes. So even when you pass away, you're still paying tax. There's disability somewhere along the line for either a day, a week, or in some cases for the rest of your life. A person will be disabled because of an accident or a sickness. It's almost a guarantee now, and I'll show you the reason why, of someone will have a critical illness sometime in their life, a cancer, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, kidney failure, that sort of thing. At some point, it's guaranteed that you will retire, be it 35, 65, or 95. Somewhere along the line, you're going to go, yeah, you know what? I think I've done enough. And then, of course, somewhere along the line, you will have had enough and you are no longer here. So if you're thinking that insurance is a way to kind of protect yourself from those 5 things, then you have to ask yourself, what do you do? And really, how do you move forward if you want to move forward with an insurance solution to help you? So basically, you have to ask yourself some very personal questions. So number 1 is, will I medically qualify? There are some people who would like to have insurance. Unfortunately, because of some medical issues in their past, they're not medically able to qualify because the insurance companies will look through everything. They'll even look through if your parents, brothers, sisters have had medical issues. They'll take that into consideration. So that's something to think about. The other is, do you have the budget to do what you want? Some people may go, I need a $10 million life insurance policy. Do you have the money to be able to afford this? Insurance companies are going to look at that. And really, this is the essence of insurance is, are you willing to trade a little bit of money today for security for you and your family tomorrow? That's really what insurance is. You're trading a little bit of your money today for a large amount of money should you really, really need it tomorrow. So for insurance, a couple of things that questions that I get is, how much insurance do I need? What does it cost? So we'll start with life insurance. So having a benefit amount that equals about 10 times your annual gross income is typically the right starting point, because what you want to be able to do is replace 10 years of your salary for your family's ongoing needs, be that a mortgage, your childcare, education, retirement planning, that sort of thing. So if we can take the emotion out of the life insurance and go, okay, if something occurs, what's going to happen for the next 10 years for my family? Are they going to be okay? I need to replace that amount, which leads to, okay, if I recognize that that's what I want to do, what does it cost? So for the sake of argument, if you're a 40-year-old female, if you need a 10-year term policy at $1 million benefit, it's $36 per month, or about $1.20 a day. If you're a 40-year-old male, it's about $1.71 a day. Someone in the presentation, I think it was Susan, had mentioned something about critical illnesses and in particular Alzheimer's, dementia, those sorts of things. Because with life insurance, people go, okay, well, I've heard people say, well, I'm not going to be here anymore, so what happens? It's not a really concern. Critical illness is one of those situations where I'll show you the statistic here in a second. It's the reason why I got into insurance, because a friend of mine, Rob, he was 33. He was diagnosed with liver, lung, and lymph node cancer. And what occurred is his business, he lost everything. His wife had to quit her job to take care of him. They ultimately wound up living in the basement of his grandmother's house, living on her CPP and OAS. So basically what critical illness protection does, it gives you a large tax-free benefit amount while you're still alive. And you can use this money however you want. And here are 26 conditions that are covered by a typical critical illness policy. Some insurance companies offer a couple more, some offer a couple less, but this is about the normal amounts and the normal conditions that they will cover. And I want to point out in particular 6 of these. So life-threatening cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, stroke, heart attack, and kidney failure. The reason I want to point these out is those 6 are the most common claimed conditions in Canada for critical illnesses. And I'm sure we probably all know someone in our lives that have had a life-threatening cancer or a heart attack or stroke, or unfortunately, I have a friend of mine, she's in Orleans, and she just turned 60, and she is in stage 3 of Alzheimer's disease. It's sad. This is a woman that I've known for 35 years. And it's sad when something like that occurs to people. And this is where critical illness coverages comes in to help cover those bills, because the spouse will have to take time away from work to take care of her. And going into assisted facility, especially if it's on Alzheimer's or dementia, is very, very expensive compared to the traditional long-term care homes, because it's a specialized care and there's a need for a tremendous amount of money to be able to take care of that. And that's where critical illness protection policy comes in. So why is critical illness protection important? Unfortunately, the latest estimate is 1 in 2.5 people will be diagnosed with a serious health condition, which leads us to, okay, what is the right benefit amount to have? What we suggest is having a benefit amount equal to about 18 months of your income. And the reason for that is the average time that someone is away from work because of a critical condition is about 18 months. I've had clients who 6 weeks after they've had a heart attack, you would never know that they'd had a heart attack. And as I mentioned, my friend, she's never going back to work ever again. So if you have a company and you have an employee benefits program, Most employee benefits programs have a long-term disability coverage, which critical illness would fall into that category. The challenge there, though, is for most of long-term disability, it's a 180-day elimination period, or the time between being diagnosed with a critical illness and when that first payment comes in. So 180 days, or if you prefer, 26 weeks, 6.5 months, roughly. So the good thing with a critical illness policy, what it will do is within 30 days, typically, here is your money. What do you need to do with your money? You need to put it in the bank, cover your bills, cover your mortgage, whatever the case may be. It's a very fast paying policy. And again, it's one of those things that you need to look at about 18 months worth of your income. So again, if we accept that it's 1 in 2.5 people that we need 18 months worth of income, what does this cost? Well, if you're a 40-year-old female, 10-year term, $100,000 benefit, it's $47.07 or about $1.57 a day. If you're male, it's about $1.51 a day. So if you're wondering, what is this going to totally cost? So $1 million of life insurance, $100,000 of critical illness protection, $2.77 a day. If you're male, it's $3.22 a day. You may have heard in the past some people say, oh, it's only for the price of a cup of coffee. Well, actually, it is about the price of a cup of coffee to give you and your family this level of protection that really is needed. And unfortunately, with the critical illness in particular, those numbers, unfortunately, are not going down. Again, it's 1 in 2.5. It's going to get very, very closer to that 1 in 2. I hope it doesn't get lower than that, but unfortunately it is. The great thing about a critical illness is, though, the modern science, technology, more and more people are surviving. The challenge is, how do you pay your bills in that time frame? And that's where critical illness policy comes in. So we are all business owners. So the very first thing I strongly suggest is protect yourself first. So critical illness protection and life insurance, because protecting your income, your ability to make money, and your family's future is paramount. So again, my name is Blair Patton. It is Benchmark Insurance, and this is our telephone number, my email address, and our website. So, and again, Bernie, Tony, thank you both very much for the opportunity to speak. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to either answer here, or if you want to send a direct message. Some people are not comfortable asking questions in this environment. No problem there whatsoever.
Blair, thank you so much. Blair, you mentioned something on the Monday session that bears repeating in this particular instance. If you're incorporated, there is a benefit. And what is the benefit if you're a business person that's incorporated, other than you're spending more money to make sure you're incorporated and you have more accounting to do? Other than the usual suspects, what are the benefits from an insurance perspective?
Fantastic question. We know that as how it's looked at is, you are incorporated. This is one entity. If you are private, it's another entity. It's the same way with your insurance. So if you've had pre-existing conditions, cancers, heart attacks, strokes, if you are an incorporated company, so the company holds this insurance policy. You happen to be an employee of this company. So if you had pre-existing conditions, the insurance companies don't care. There may be, if it's within a certain time frame, typically about a 2-year window for cancer, typically about a year after your heart attack. But after that time frame, if something occurs and you need that money to help protect you, it's there, because they look at it as exactly like it is. A corporation is different than an individual. And as an individual, you're under the corporation. So, and also taxes are a big thing. But again, that's how it's deemed under insurance, under a corporation, as opposed to under an individual.
Anybody else have a question? Go ahead, Sam.
Hi, Blair. Thank you for your presentation. I noticed on that list of critical illnesses was something called aortic surgery.
Mhm.
Now, wouldn't that be covered by our medical insurance in the province of Ontario, or is that something separate?
It is, but it's not so much this to pay for those conditions, because again, if you have aortic surgery, yes, the province does take care of it, but you're off work for however long until the surgery occurs. In many cases, if you need that surgery, you're not going to work, especially if you're doing what you're doing. It may limit you to do your job. So this money comes in, and again, it's your money however you wish to do. I mentioned, I think on the Monday session, one of my clients, he's 44, he has a 1-year-old at home. April 4th, he had a heart attack, a myocardial infarction. No health issues before. He's back to work now. He's received his critical illness, and I believe it's either this weekend or next weekend, he's buying a camper to take his family camping. That's what he decided to do with his benefit amount. So again, to answer your question, it's not so much the procedure, it's the condition, and they'll pay for the condition. A very good question.
Thank you.
So the thing is, when you made their presentation, these were based on 10-year terms. So once you're 50, what does that look like? Once you're 60, what does that rate look like? 70, like you're gonna, like for people like I pride myself in trying to take care of myself, so I'll probably only suffer these things when I'm older. So how does that impact the price?
Dave, that is such a fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and just so you know, we prefer the term mature, just so we're not older, mature. Mature. And I said this on the Monday session, and I will say it again, and I will say it to the people that I deal with all of the time. I am a firm believer in insurance because it's what I do, but I'm also a firm believer that it has to make economic sense. And the easiest way is to figure out the number. So if someone is 70 years old, does it make economic sense for them to have a critical illness policy? Something that's going to protect them until they're 100. In many cases, the answer is no, because they're going to be paying way more than they will ever get in a benefit. Same way with the life insurance policy. Some people just want to be able to go, okay, I want to have enough to cover my final expenses. We'll sit down and we'll do what's known as a needs analysis, and we'll figure out exactly how much money they have, how much money is available. If life insurance is the right option, fantastic. If it isn't, then we'll tell them that as well. Because again, if they're going to put a lot of money into an insurance policy, and then in 6 months or a year later, it's a choice between, do I pay my life insurance policy or do I put food on my table? I know what's going to win. I know they're going to have a $40 steak. By the way, those steaks sounded really good, and I love smoked salmon from New Brunswick. I lived in Moncton for about 25 years, so I'm familiar with the smoked salmon from New Brunswick. So yeah, again, that's the best way of doing that. So again, yes, as you're 50, as you're 60, as you're 70, even up to your 80, if it makes the most sense, great. Now, I've had some clients as well who, one woman in particular, this is about 6 months ago, didn't need a life insurance policy at all. And I explained this to her, but she said, okay, what I want to do is have enough money that when I pass away, we're going to have a party. And this money is going to go to bring in my favorite jazz band, my favorite wine, my favorite cheese. So my friends can have a celebration and it's on me. And that's what I want my life insurance policy to do. It's like, it's a fantastic idea. Okay. And it's a $25,000 life insurance policy. It wasn't going to cost her hardly anything, but the purpose was this, which was, I understood now what her motivation was. So, but again, Dave, fantastic question. Really, really fantastic question.
Blair, thank you so much. I really
My pleasure.
appreciate your time today, and appreciate you. Sorry I sent the invite out late, but I'm glad you made it. Because
no problem.
Yeah, and so just going to do the quote for the day again, because I can practice it. If you're not willing to risk the unusual, if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. Jim Rohn. And Blair, thank you so much. And Blair's contact details are in the chat. And Blair, you're more than welcome to put it on our LinkedIn site also.